What's going on, guys? TG or ThunderGod here, and today I know I've been absent this week. I apologize. I'm actually just took a little bit of a break. I'm actually working on some bigger projects for you guys because we are approaching 1K, and I actually really want to reward a lot of my fans for sticking with me. So if you like DMC and Naruto, just keep your eye out because I have a really big video plan that I might have talked about before. So be hyped for that. But until then, I'm just going to keep making content, grinding it out, and, doing the most. So thank you for guys for sticking with me. And today's video is actually going to be talking about mental amps in Naruto because these are actually very prevalent throughout the series and something that should actually be noted of because of how important they are and how important they are to scaling and even the narrative itself. So with that being said, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and let's get started. Now you might be asking me, TG, what is a mental amp? What is that? What are we talking about? What's good with you? Well, here's the thing. Essentially, for shinobi to ideally use their chakra, they want to be in a relaxed mind, granting them the best sense of their own energies, while stress and fatigue can make their control erratic and difficult to maintain. Powerful emotions are often a useful tool in creating as much chakra as possible, as quickly as possible, by pushing the mind and body beyond its normal limits. But this is more of a situational aid rather than something that can be relied on consistently. And this situational aid is actually what we call a mental amp in Naruto, in which they are mentally amping themselves and essentially breaking their limits momentarily because the situation demands it. We can actually see what a mental amp is through Haku, and Haku actually describes this with his conversation with Naruto, in which people who protect somebody truly precious to them become as strong as they need to be. They will become stronger. And you can actually see this very prominently in Naruto's fight with Gaara. He actually gains a great mental amp because he has to protect Sasuke and Sakura or else they will die. He essentially shatters his limits. And this can even be explored a little bit further with Hiruzen, with him actually talking about when one protects someone important, the true strength of a shinobi will emerge. So essentially, it's the need to protect somebody that gives way to this surge in power. It's almost similar to how in OG Dragon Ball, Goku actually describes the Super Saiyan transformation coming out of a need, not necessarily a desire. It's very situational and comes from a reaction. It's very similar in the sense for this mental amp. And we actually can even see this in terms of our real life as human beings, in the sense of when regular people, prominently parents, are actually put into situations where their children's lives are endangered, they actually achieve feats of quite superhuman strength in terms of like flipping cars and lifting these crazy amounts of weights. And we see this and it's like these people shouldn't be able to, but the adrenaline, it pumps them up. The need to actually save their child's life, the mind pretty much releases all these chemicals in order to give them the strength. I actually think it's very similar to the need to protect somebody in Naruto, and I actually think it's kind of an interesting plot point and not simply some bad writing to just get the character stronger for the sake of the plot. So in case you're kind of wondering, like, how can I relate this back to a mental amp, in case you can't already, essentially a mental amp is just like a short burst of power that comes when you have the need to protect somebody. It's just, almost think of it like just a short burst of adrenaline. The brain releases chemicals that allow these ninja to in turn achieve these super feats of strength in their shinobi world, along with our real life world, that the same thing kind of applies. And I actually really like the mental amp aspect of Naruto because there's certain situations in where, like, a lot of fiction, these main characters get stronger through the power of friendship, but it's made very clear very, very early on that this is an aspect of shinobi society, the need to protect somebody that will give you strength. And there actually is a certain consistency in the series and in our real life. So it's actually a very cool plot point that I don't want to simply write off as simply being, bad writing or anything like that. And you shouldn't either. So in terms of debating, like, let's kind of round this back, right? Let's actually add some like practicality to this. In terms of debating, these, like, you should be on the lookout for these mental amps, as a lot of people will use them. There's always these statements roaming around. For example, Sakura being noted whenever she talks about Sasuke to get stronger. Same thing with Naruto. If the cause is to save a comrade or a friend, Naruto can become stronger than anybody else. So if you're ever, looking at the series, just kind of be on the lookout for these little nudges of information because they can really change how you perceive certain feats or certain scenes. in terms of the accuracy of these scenes. So hopefully that kind of explained the whole mental amp deal for you in a very simple way and a more practical way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this short little video. Got some bigger videos planned, but for now I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so I thought I'd add something a little more practical to your daily lives. Anime debating, you know. With that being said, like and subscribe if you're new here. If you're not new here, you know the deal, still do it anyway. And share this video in case, you know, you want to explain to somebody what a mental amp is, but they don't quite get it. Definitely make it a point to explain this to them. And enjoy the, thanks for watching the show, while watching the video. Get out of here, bye.